Bandwidth for all shows on the Aussie Tech Heads network is supplied by Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting. For a fast, affordable and reliable Australian server with fantastic support, contact Aussie Tech Heads Web Hosting at aussietechheads.com.au. Aussie Tech Heads, Australia's best hosting service.
Hello, we're winging it tonight, all right. It's Aussie Tech Heads. Welcome to episode 441. I'm Glenn, and I'm joined by the two best podcasters in the world. Hello. Still number one, I hear. Will and Jace. Hi, Jace. How you going?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
I'm all up, by the way.
Buddy. Not too bad. Yeah, so the old fart geek.
I went shopping yesterday.
Yeah.
Just before work. Got a new shiny.
And look at this. Will's just collapsed into a pile of disbelief.
One of the guys at work threatened to smash it.
No, I always knew he wasn't that bright. So I'm
the Champagne Gold edition, like champagne comedy.
Is that the new one, the latest one?
Yep, 16 gig iPad Mini 3 with Retina and Touch ID.
You'll be able to.
Down there.
Is that plastic? Is it still in the plastic?
I just left that on there for now because I've got a case on the way and it's got a film to put on there as well. Because I got the Google Nexus 2012 edition. And because now it's got KitKat on it, it's paperweight because you just can't run anything on it.
Yeah,
so right. I was like, well, I'm not going to get another Android one because I don't want that to happen again. So I went with the Apple, and I've still got a ton of stuff that I paid a heap of money for on there, so I can download all my apps again free. But I want to be able to read some books and do some study up. I think I might learn a bit more Java programming and stuff. So the Kindle works really well, and it's got a good high resolution, and it's really good for reading things on there and playing a couple odd games. So I'll grab one of those and read it on the train on the way to work and stuff.
You'll be able to do the new split screen, which we'll talk about soon. Yes,
iOS 9, whenever that comes out.
Yeah, so
you mean the thing that Android's had for the last 5 years?
Yeah.
And so
along with copy and paste.
So you may be wondering who that is. That is, of course, Will. Hi, Will.
Was that who it was?
Yes,
I
wondered.
Yeah, I know. And I get flack over hating apples. I don't hate apples. They're just
got too many seeds.
They're just way overhyped.
Yeah.
Not a bad product. Don't get me wrong. They're decent quality products, but I can't justify the expense and the hype that goes with them. Like it's just...
Yeah, we get so much hate mail. Every week, it's like heaps of hate mail against Will.
Every time
you hate Apple.
Every time I have a Facebook chat with someone, or I chat with them in the chat room in the lounge, or something, they're always bagging me out. I'm like, I don't hate apples. I just don't like people that use them. No.
Look, I watched the WWDC this week.
That's partly true.
And and you could see that the hype was there. You know, it is very hypey, and stuff that's probably maybe more generic sort of functions on things. They sort of wrap it up as if it's their own, and all that. So I know what you mean, Will. But at the end of the day, look, I miss my iPad. I give it to the young fella, the iPad too. I'm going to wait till the new one comes out. Hopefully, there's going to be a new one this year. What normally, I don't know, when do they come out?
Well, what I said to my boss at work that I'm a instant purchaser. I decide I want something, I go get it. I could have got this for like $50 cheaper if I got it from Kogan and waited a week for delivery, but I'm like, I want to buy it now.
Yeah,
I went to the shop and got it and then quickly raced to the train station to get to work before my train left. It's just like instant decisions all the time.
And is it the Wi-Fi or and the cellular?
Just Wi-Fi, 16 gig.
Need. Yeah, well, that's all right. That's good. So, so look, we've got a couple of stories about the WWDC tonight, just to bring you all up to date if you haven't been listening to the Aussie Mac Zone. And
Eric's going to miss out on the Apple stories. He'll be disappointed.
Oh, he will be. Yes, he's not in tonight. He said he may join us later on, if time permits, but we'll see how that goes. But, so he's already been playing with the iOS 9. And I think, was it the iOS 9 or the new OS X 10? But we'll get to all that soon. But look, we are brought to you every week by athwebhosting.com.au. If you want an Australian server based in Sydney, they are, and they're just chugging away down there. Water cooled, I believe. I don't know. They might be. But anyway, they're in some data centre. They're not in a cupboard. And so they're all pumping away down there. So they're going good. Register your domain. If you need a .com or a .com.au or a whatever you might want, a .shoes. I've got a lady that has a .shoes. So you can register whatever you like. Yes.
I mean, that's great, but I'm sorry. If I saw somebody with sending me an email with, this is legit or something, I'm probably going to be a bit sus about it.
Yeah, well, she doesn't use it as her email. She uses it, I don't know, she just grabbed the domain. She sells shoes, obviously. So, yeah, she's Octavia.shoes. So she's
Octavia.
also... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I set that up for her.
Sounds like it should be a...
Let me check that now.
And now, yes, it's actually... Don't go there just yet. We'll just check that out first.
Octavia. Oh, there I go. So I put .com in. Oh, no, I haven't.
That's why I'm not going to buy one of the new premium domains. Besides the fact that they cost 3 times as much as anything else, everyone's going to do .com no matter what you tell them. No one's going to do .guru.
Yeah,
or they're going to do like... Jason.guru is my new address. Okay, jason.guru.com.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't work. Yeah. What's going on?
That's right. Well, I've just made a little paper note now. I'm going to fix that up. So by the time you listen, the website should come up on the .shoes. Okay. I don't know why I must have missed that. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Yeah, it's because remember, it's a bit off track, I guess, but years ago they did the .au.com.
Oh, yeah.
Thing that came out. Oh,
convince people to actually sign up with him. Oh, we don't care. You can register coca-cola.au.com if you want. Cool.
Yeah.
Here's a ton of money. Ka-ching.
But who's going to do that? Who's going to go? Anyway, all right. Let's move on to Apple's coming up later. Let's move on to Microsoft because we all love good old Microsoft. Now, Microsoft, they got this new Surface they're going to sell. Can you believe it? Another Surface has hit the market. It's going to cost you $20,000.
They didn't sell any of the other ones.
No, but this one, they're probably not going to sell many of these. They're $20,000. And I thought I had an image of it, but I don't. But anyway, so you're going to have to picture this in your mind. Microsoft will sell an 84-inch screen version. Wall-mounted video conferencing and digital whiteboard, $20,000, making it the most expensive product in its hardware lineup. This will be probably a $20,000 US, so that's going to work out $25,000, something like that. There's a smaller 55-inch version if you're up for that. Excuse me, if you want to stump up $7,000. So, here we go. Will's got something going on.
They want to take on that LG thin wall hanging one.
Yeah, so
I don't think I want to go up to my wall and start swiping around, but it might be okay for the office or something.
Just watch a Y50 and you'll get the gist of what's going on with
pretty much, yeah.
That's the Microsoft show.
Yes, they got.
Oh, isn't it? What?
Yeah. They got the phones, they've got the tablets, they've got the Skype, they've got the Surface.
How do we do that? Let me just look it up on my tablet. Yeah. Can you get the camera to look over my shoulder? Look at this. If you click on that, it's even got this thing called Cortana. It's awesome. Buy it now.
Now, look, for $20,000, like, why wouldn't you be able to get one of those? I don't know how much they are, but those smart whiteboards. You could project the Windows 10 onto it. And then you could just push the whiteboard as you're going along.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be a whole lot different, would you?
Minority Report.
Yeah, that's what we're after. Bit of that sort of stuff. Now, what else can I tell you about this? Orders for the Surface Hub start on the 1st of July, including Australia. Oh, wacky-doo. Microsoft hopes the device will become a fixture in meeting rooms around the world. It will run
they want.
Yeah, it will run a custom version of Windows 10. So what's this? Another version of Windows 10?
No, don't be silly. They wouldn't do that.
Of course not. But anyway, it's a custom version of Windows 10, Microsoft's new operating system, which is due out in late July. And everyone probably has seen the little window, as we've mentioned last week, down near the time. You can sign up, get your Windows 10 downloaded straight to your machine. No messing about. Geez, they're on the ball, aren't they? Now, partners, you'll be able to get your Surface Hub if you want. If you want to stump up your 25G, go to Telstra or Pro AV Solutions. Now, how thick is too thick for something to sit on the wall? That may be that thick. 10 centimetres thick.
It depends on what it is.
And have a guess how much it weighs.
No, it wouldn't be light with all that.
50 kilos.
There's a lot of tech in there, so.
Oh, look, it's 127 kilos.
What?
That's
Well, actually,
50 was it?
no. If you think about it, back when 100-inch plasmas come out, they were pushing
heavy.
150 kilos.
Yeah. I remember my first plasma. It was damn heavy. You had to have two people to lift it. Now I'm just flipping them up and on the wall as if it's
We used to have these, but you can still buy them. There's these plugs called wall mates that, if you've only got plasterboard and no studs to put the board in, you put these wall mates in, and they're just a giant screw basically. And each one of those holds 10 kilos. So when we used to put the big plasmas up in commercial, and for some reason commercial plasmas are twice as heavy as a regular plasma, you would use 30 of these wall mates in a wall just to put a backing plate onto to get some sort of solid, fixture.
Mm.
So.
Yeah. Oh, look, that's heavy. That is pretty heavy. Now, this guy, whoever he is, what's his name? I'll find his name here. Angelo or something. Now, he is who is he? Well, he's someone in Microsoft anyway. So, that's his surname, Anguilio. I think his first name is Michael. So anyway, someone in Microsoft. He said.
No, I think that was a painter.
He said that it's
Michelangelo.
No, it's true. It's true.
And Donatello and Leonardo. And
there's a guy with an ear missing.
No, it's true.
And they were turtles. I saw that show. That was a great show. Teenage Mutant
That's why they got
Ninja
the job. They can carry these 127 things on their back.
Turtles in the half shells. Still power.
Now, well, anyway, whoever he is, Michelangelo says that it's the biggest piece of glass for an electronic product in production. There you go. I'm glad I got that out. Yeah, cool.
What? That doesn't sound right.
Why? What would be bigger?
Anything that's the same size.
120, 88. No, for an electronic. Yeah, I suppose a TV is an electronic product in production.
Anything that's anything like 100-inch plasmas and 100-inch.
Oh well, Michelangelo is living in the Middle Ages. If he thinks that's going to cut it,
Like
Will's onto him.
Yeah.
Will's onto him. Don't worry about that. All right. Well, in that case, Will, you're on fire. What stories have you got for us tonight?
Well, seeing as Warlock started the night with an Apple product, I thought I'd follow tradition. Have you ever wondered, because waking up sleepless of a night, and we do that sort of thing, what a iPhone would have looked like if somebody made it in 1984?
Right. I often wonder about that.
So
a
designer, a Thailand-based designer, Perry
Mason.
Obviously had a burning desire to answer the question.
Famous people not this week.
It's dubbed the Macintosh phone 512K. The product ditches the touchscreen and opts for a 1980s rotary dial and a tiny CRT screen. The design also includes a 9-pin port and a shell that closely mimics the vents on the rear of the original Mac computers. Obviously, it is actually functional. If I scroll down there, you can actually see that it does actually do things.
I don't think it's got a CRT screen, though. It would have been about 10 times thicker than that to get the electrons to shoot.
Yeah, it's an LCD, looks like a mini CRT. But it's just amazing. I think what's more amazing is the fact that we now have the technology to make a phone that we couldn't have made in the 80s look like a phone that we made in the 80s.
Yeah. But how big is the dial pad? Will you be able to stick your finger in it?
Yeah.
Or it looks like will you stick your little finger in?
Well, it gives you an idea. See down the bottom there? That's a 9-pin. 9-pin serial port.
Down the bottom?
Yeah.
Oh, where?
See down the bottom of the image there?
Am I seeing the whole image? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you look down there, that's a 9-pin serial port. So that's fairly decent size.
Fair enough. So I love the old original Macintosh, whatever.
Oh, the Apple logo.
Yeah, colours.
Yeah. And the monochrome screen, yeah.
It's a website about Apple technologies called 6 Colors, named after those.
No, okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you something else about.
I just found it interesting because it's a fully functioning, usable, modern day rip-off of a phone that you couldn't use in the 80s because there wouldn't have been cell towers anyway. But it's something about it I really like the look of. Like if somebody bought a phone out that was like that now, as a phone, just had the LCD touchscreen and then had just a big dial on it like that. I reckon that'd be awesome. I could.
You want a
handle that.
rotary USB Skype phone?
When
That's it. The new Skype phone.
when's someone
That'll
going to
work.
bring out a shoe phone? That's what we're
Someone
Sorry about that, Chief.
did a shoe phone a few years ago. It was I'll have to see if I can find it in the thing. But
Missed it by that much.
whilst we're talking about, I'll just sort of tie two stories together here. There's
Please.
old retro gaming. So they've now got a video game Hall of Fame.
Right.
They've just started. So the first introducees, that's not even a word. The first introductees, they spelt that wrong, into the new World
France.
Video Game Hall of Fame. Wow, that Rick. Okay. The first inductees into the new World Video Game Hall of Fame include, with no punctuation anywhere, Pong, the game that introduced millions of electronic...
Fair enough.
Wow, this is... wow, seriously. Dudes, proofread or something. Doom, which triggered a debate over the role of gamers and violence in society. And Super Mario Brothers, whose mustachioed hero has migrated into everything from fruit snacks to sneakers.
Oh, look, I would have liked to have seen it go back further.
So, yeah, there's Pong, which was 72, Doom, 93, 85 Super Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, 1980, Tetris, 84, and World of Warcraft, 2004. They were the first 6 introduced into the Hall of Fame.
Yes,
How
but
did World of
Pac-Man...
Warcraft get in there? They had things like EverQuest and Ultima out before that was like
Probably
that.
because World of Warcraft people still know.
But Pac-Man, is it video games in general or video games at home? Do we know? Because Pac-Man
it looks like... I haven't read that far down the story. I think it's an inaugural Hall of Fame class picks were recommended by a panel of judges made up of journalists, scholars, and other experts on the history and impact of video games. They also chose among 15 finalists that included Angry Birds, FIFA, The Legend of Zelda, Minecraft, Oregon Trail, Pokemon, Sims, Sonic and Hedgehog, and Space Invaders. So it looks like it's nominations for the Hall can come from anyone and be from any platform: arcade, console, computer, handheld, and mobile.
Right. Well, I'd be.
They must have long stretch of popularity and left a mark on the video game industry. Doom, for example, introduced the idea of a game engine that separated the game's basic functions from its artwork and other aspects.
Well, I would have liked to have seen some cassette games in there, like Sabotage.
Michael Jackson Moonwalker.
There's a Moonraker. That was a good game.
Moonraker, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great game. Tutankhamun.
Whizball.
If you go...
Tutankhamun. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Why does Mario Brothers get a run before Donkey Kong? Asteroids. Quicks.
World of Warcraft was the world's largest MMORPG.
I loved Quicks.
Yeah, Quicks.
Let's see.
Qbert.
Tetris
Pengo?
wasn't expecting, but that's where they're coming from. It's puzzle games.
Endo.
Zaxian.
They don't really say why
Galaga.
they picked the rest of them. They just picked. They only nominated a couple that they picked. So,
Mr. Do.
but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. So,
Hall of Fame.
yeah.
All right. Oh, good stuff. Well, we should get everyone to post on our Facebook page. What's your Hall of Fame?
What introduced you to your preferred formatting of game, whether it be PC, console, arcade? What's your format? How did you grow to like that? Was it one particular instance? Was it something that you played that completely turned you off that format forever? So, as an example, if you ever played, say, one of these Pong machines, and then you went to you would never go back and play that again, so that might turn you off.
I had the handheld.
Was it music in Tetris, for example, that drove you insane?
Yes, well, but anyway. So tell us what you think on the Facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads. Tell us what you think. And everyone that does that, I'm going to send you some love.
and I'll join you in that love sending.
All right. We've got lots of it to go around.
And we also might actually probably touch on this a bit more on when we do our next Old Fart Geeks. Sounds like something that needs to go into that.
Those old farts always talk about that stuff.
They're on the ball. That'll be an old fart too one day.
Yeah, we'll get me on for the video game one. I used to be a champion at them. All right. You little 20-cent machinist. You used to be able to get the free games out, poking straws through, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. They did that. The old mechanical mechs, you could use a straw or a bit of wire to trigger the mech.
Yeah.
Then they went to the optical mechs a bit later on, which were a little bit harder to fool. But all you need to do is get a piezo igniter from a butane stove or a cigarette lighter, put a couple of cables down it, drop it into the coin mech and flick it, and then it'd bypass the optical sensors. So then they got all flash and they used the new style ones. But I used to work in an arcade, used to see all sorts of things like that.
Well, there used to be a pinball machine up at the laundromat, like the old laundromats, unattended laundromats. They had a big bar across the front of it, just this huge, big, ugly bar with a padlock on it. There's no way you're going to get that door open, and off enough to rake the money out. But you were able to, somebody busts the door open, so it just jars up against the bar, just enough for you to get a little stick in there. Go, beep, 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 beep.
Somebody, we don't know who.
The old pinball machines, like the old early ones that were mostly pretty much all mechanical, except for a very early analog scoreboard. If you flick the power switch on and off very quickly, it'll put them in free play mode.
Yeah, same with the machines, and sometimes 1 out of 20 you'd probably stuff up.
Yeah, that's right.
Get fixed.
Wouldn't that wipe out the high score though?
Oh yeah, they had no backup memory in the circuits. As soon as they lost power, that was it. The high scores were reset.
Oh, that's right. But anyway, let's save that topic for the next Old Fart Geeks.
Yeah.
I'll come on. Yep. Let's make a date.
All right, it's official. Keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes out for the hearing audio version of the next Old Fart Geeks. We'll have Glenn on there, and we will talk more than about our first 20 news stories that we have. I promise.
And we'll what am I going to say? Yeah, so if you don't want to miss it, subscribe to the Old Fart Geeks now, iTunes or any other thing. But look, let's move on to the Mac, because I've got to, before we get to the WWDC, Mac malware. There's some malware out there that can survive hard disk formatting. Now, Portuguese researcher, self-described Mac malware hunter Pedro Villasquia discovered that a bug in the energy conservation functionality left flash protections unlocked after waking from sleep mode. So this means an attacker can reflash the computer's firmware to install extensible firmware interface rootkit malware. My gosh! The target the security root vendor, this is Symantec, I think now, we've moved on to Symantec, found that the Mac Mini 5.1, MacBook Pro 9.2 were vulnerable. And old Pedro discovering that MacBook Pro Retina 10.1, MacBook Pro 8.2, MacBook Air 5.1, and MacBook Pro 9.1, can't they just get better names, were affected. Symantec's testing cleared MacBook Pro 11.3 and MacBook Air 6.2 from potential harm. Yay! Until a patch for blah, 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 blah. So, so look, that leads into my little story, because my wife's got a MacBook, I don't know what it is, Pro, whatever, normal, who knows. But anyway, she's got one. And it had a virus. It had a problem with Safari. Kept coming up with like adware, malware thing, and you couldn't do anything. It was ring this number and a little OK button. You pushed OK, the pop-up would come straight back. You couldn't get out of it. So I thought, this must be a virus. Heavens above. On a Mac, are you serious? I checked the Sky, made sure there's no cracks in it. There wasn't. So I downloaded AVG for the Mac, and it found 11 threats. I'll tell you, it was as slow as bloody anything it was. So I'm not sure if that's normal, but anyway, but it found 11 threats and got rid of the problem.
Well, it's good to see that you listen to your own shows.
Yes.
It's only been about 4 years or so I've been saying if you've got a Mac, make sure you have antivirus.
Yes, well, I've never had a need, and because I never believed you, Will.
That's right.
No,
I had to say I told you so, but sucked in.
Yeah, no, I think, and I think we've also mentioned that if you ask Apple, they do also recommend that you probably do put something on as well.
They do. It's written in their documentation.
All right, now WWDC soon. Jace, what have you got for us?
Well, if we're going to talk about Apple stuff, using the latest Xcode 7, you don't need to go through the App Store to install apps now. Cult of Mac discovered the newest version of Xcode, Apple's integrated development tool environment for OS X and iOS, allows anyone to install apps on their iOS device, even if it hasn't been approved by Apple and you're not a developer. The Xcode website boasts that it's now easier for everyone to build apps and run them directly on their Apple devices. Program membership is not required. Apple previously required that you pay a $99 per year development fee to install unapproved apps on devices. The change was intended to allow more people to code apps without a price barrier. Apple didn't tout the new feature on stage on Monday at WWDC, but opens the door for developers to distribute their apps outside of the App Store. And it could also lead to easy pirating of decrypted apps, notes iOS developer Steve Smith, while also letting users install everything from emulators and torrent clients to banned games, basically anything that Apple doesn't want in the App Store.
So what are you saying? That so you make a game up, or you make a bit of software with your Xcode, and then you can
email it to somebody and they can just install it without having to go through the App Store and get digitally signed and stuff.
But so this is something that they're opening up?
Yes.
Why would they want to do that?
Because they want everybody to be able to develop for their device without having to pay $99 a year. That was the price barrier that was stopping it. I could code games and then send it out to 10 people for beta testing. So beta testing, because there was some people who couldn't get their stuff approved through the App Store because of the particular functionality of it. So they would just have as many beta tests as they could. They would just let everybody install it. Right. And then Apple cut that down so you could only have 100 people beta testing with your special promo codes for beta testers. So they do 100, then clear out their account, then create another 100, and clear out their account and create another 100. Now anybody can code an app and install it on their own device to test it out, which is Apple's idea, is to get more people to code without having to pay $99 a year. But it also means that people can just install any game side-loaded. Yeah. So one developer already discovered it's fairly easy to side-load Game Boy emulators like GBA for iOS using Xcode 7.
So why not just make either the membership free? Because I think this is opening up, this is going the wrong way for Apple, isn't it? Because
it means anyone can code now. Before you had to pay $99 a year to make a game or something, and you couldn't test it on your device unless you paid the $99 for membership. You could do it in an emulator.
Yes.
But that's never going to be 100% the same as running it on a device. So they're like, well, we'll let anybody make a game. They can code it in Swift or JavaScript or whatever, compile it, install it on their device to test it. And you don't need to have a license, developer license, but also means that you could send it to other people and they could test it on theirs, or you could just write your whole thing and then start your own app store and start selling your stuff on any website.
Interesting. That's a very interesting story, that one. We'll have to watch and see how that one works out. I think that's like a bit of a total U-turn, isn't it, for Apple? They want a closed ecosystem, not opening it up. It's crazy. Oh, geez. Anyway, what are we going to lose in Windows 10?
Our minds.
So maybe we all know that the Windows Media Center is going. That's going tatas.
Yeah, they recommend you download VLC, which is what everybody's going to do anyway, because...
Yeah, who uses Windows Media Center, seriously?
But the strange thing with this is that, as well, it's because of a decreased usage, apparently. Microsoft decided to get rid of the Windows, with a feature in Windows 10. The company will also will provide an option for DVD playback, but in an update later in the year. So out of the box... So what is he saying? Everyone that's going to update to Windows 10 won't be able to play a DVD?
Not without VLC.
Yes, but if you've already got VLC, it'll probably just keep all that, so you keep all your codecs. But so if you get Windows 10 out of the box, no DVD playback until later this year. Until the update arrives, watching DVDs will require separate playback software. That's crazy.
Yep.
Why wouldn't they just plug it in straight away?
Because they're trying to concentrate on the OS and get everything out as soon as possible for that, and then worry about the add-on stuff later.
That's madness. But anyway, why not... Well, can't they just spend $1 million, get a little DVD team together and go, just plug us up a thing?
Yeah, they've done it for other things in the past. They're just like Xbox, they had a lot of stuff when they brought out Xbox One. It didn't come with a lot of functionality and couldn't play a lot of codecs and other applications, and then they just rolled out update. And they're like, the other thing with that is people are like, oh, fresh new software. I got this really cool update. Finally, this is wonderful. I can't wait till I get the update. And people sitting there on the edge of their seat. Oh, did you get the new DVD update? You can play DVDs on 10 now. Isn't it great? Oh, yeah, I got that update. I wonder what they're going to bring out next, kind of thing. So
yeah,
keep the hype.
And apparently the gadgets, I deleted them straight off. Desktop gadgets, never liked them. So they're gone, apparently, finished, finito. Automatic update for home users. So home users will no longer have the option to choose when to install updates.
Good.
They'll just come down. Bzzz, bang.
Good.
India.
No, nothing a firewall won't fix.
In other software, no, I like updates. Yeah,
I
install
like them. I don't like being the first person to try them. You know how many times my system has been broken numerous times because of Windows updates?
The first part of that statement, yes. The second part, not sure.
The problem is developers have to code for the oldest available version of whatever Windows people are running and not expect it'll have KB update this or the DVD updates or whatever is missing. And if they know that everybody in the world is going to have this functionality available on their machine no matter what, then they'll be able to write stuff a lot easier for it. Otherwise, you have to go, well, Windows 10 doesn't have the DVD playback yet, so we can't code anything. There's the update. Okay, now we can release our thing that relies on Windows DVD because every single person's going to have it. There's not going to be, half the people have it, the other half didn't want to do an update or they don't know how to update. And the only people who are going to be really pissed off is like Milo, who are on dial-up merely.
Oh, yes. And the updates are just going to come down like it or not.
Or like friends, like family members I have who are on 2 gig plans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. They got to change that.
Fantastic. Microsoft, well done.
So, it says Windows home users will now longer have the option to choose when to install updates to their operating system after upgrading to Windows 10. Yeah,
and the business ones will be able to put it off for about a month or maybe 2 at the very most, but they're going to get it forced down eventually. They can only put it off for a limited time.
Now, in other software changes, if you're still using floppy disks...
What? What is that? I've never heard of that thing.
No, I don't know.
Make up a term?
I did. Welcome to the 80s.
Oh.
Those still using floppy disks on Windows will need to install new drivers when upgrading to Windows 10.
I'll go get my 5 1/4-inch.
So they got hang on. So they got a driver for floppies, but no drivers for DVDs. Makes sense, doesn't it? Great.
I mean,
just be happy they got USB still.
Well,
do
I've still got a USB floppy drive.
Yeah, I've got one.
Just for the sake of having it, but it'd be interesting to see. Does it going to pick it up as a USB device, or is it going to pick it up as a floppy drive, or
who would know?
The reason they got it is because of a lot of people who've got laptops who have a USB floppy drive.
Why?
Because they have drivers and stuff they put on there, and they're like, I have to send this super secret confidential thing, and I don't want to put it on a USB key, so I put it on a floppy and send it to somebody or whatever. Businesses are weird in the stuff that they require. I was talking to somebody recently and they're like, oh, what's the biggest email I can send through your company? And we're like, 25 megs, it should be big enough. Use Dropbox. Some businesses don't accept Dropbox links because it's not compliant with their system. Oh, I'll zip it up because that'll make it smaller. No, they don't have zip either. They don't like to get zip files. It's not compliant with their special requirements.
Well, how about do they like doing business?
Stick it on a floppy disk. You can have 50 floppies.
Yeah, okay, we'll send it on floppies and I'll courier that over. Beep, 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 beep.
Sneaker net.
Microsoft is also making Cortana, the voice assistant, only available to a limited number of countries.
And we don't even get it.
No.
And we speak English the same as like the US and the UK where it is coming to, but it doesn't come to Australia.
No, but it goes it goes to crazy places like China, Italy. So all these non-English speaking countries, China, France, Spain, Italy, and Germany, first in line, and along with the English speaking countries, US, Canada, UK.
But not us, because we don't speak English. I mean, how hard is it to make a little tweak so it understands Strine?
Yeah, that's because sometimes I speak to Siri and I'll go, make an appointment.
G'day, cobber.
No, I'll go, make an appointment for blah, blah, blah. She goes, I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying or something.
What was that you just said?
You know what's funny is one of my colleagues, he's Kiwi, and our boss has iPhone, we all have Androids, but neither of them have any trouble at all understanding him. So both the voice recognition on both the Android and the Apple work perfectly when he speaks.
But sometimes if Siri doesn't understand me...
Chups for $6.60.
Yeah, I know. And it knows exactly what he's talking about.
If sometimes
I can't understand a damn word he's saying.
Sometimes if Siri doesn't understand what I'm saying, I'll say it in a real stupid voice. I'll go, I'm going to tell me where to go to like this, and she gets it. It's really weird. It's
You
weird.
talk like that all the time, dude.
Tell me how to get to Cole's New World. Cole's New World. Now, there's another one from the past. Welcome to Cole's New World. All right. Now, they've also...
like Jurassic Park's new park. It's like...
they've also removed the pre-bundled versions of Solitaire, Minesweeper, and Hearts.
You get Candy Crush now.
Yeah, good on Candy. I've never played it. I've never even loaded it. I don't even know what it is.
I had to play around with it on my phone when I was bored sometimes, and it's like, you ran out of lives, give us more money. I was like, I'll play this tomorrow.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. William, bring us back to some more sensible story.
Yeah, right.
Sensible story.
He's the sensible one.
No, that's okay. I knew you'd ask me that, so I'm prepared for this event.
Oh.
What?
Don't you hate it?
Yeah.
When you're swimming and your beard gets wet?
Oh, yes, I know. I mean,
Slows you down, all that friction.
don't worry about...
Invented it's such a shame having a bushy beard and setting record laps in the pool. They don't go hand in hand, because your beard slows you down.
What's
so
the drag, Will? It's the drag.
yeah, I know. So now they've got
It's a drag.
now they've got the beard cap. The product functions like a regular swimming cap. It extends over the wearer's head all the way down to their chin and encompasses their furry facial hair. The company said developed the product after conducting research about big beards causing drag in swimming pools. It was revealed
they conducted research into marketing and they needed a new product line that hadn't been done yet.
It was revealed that over 1 in 10 men, 12%, concerned that their beards to slow swim times, and nearly a quarter of men feel their beards hinder their sports performance. And just so you know, what you can see on the top of the cap there, it's called Virgin Trains.
So these guys, and by the way, I did ask for a sensible story, but so these guys,
This is as sensible as I get. What do you want?
These guys, he looks like that chef from the Muppets a bit. But anyway, oh, look out!
Or something out of a movie. I think I saw that in a movie once.
Listen, these guys,
the lotion on its skin.
they're happy enough to go and shave their legs and their arms and look like pansies, but they won't shave their face. They got to get a beard mask or whatever you called it. What did you call it?
I don't know. What do they call it? They call it the where is it? Doesn't say.
The Virgin Train.
The beard
protector. The beard suit.
The beard cap.
The beard cap.
Yeah.
And is it Virgin Trains?
Virgin Trains.
They're the sponsor.
They're the ones who did it, apparently.
See, there's a problem there. His sideburns are still going to slow him down. They need a new one.
The product will be trialled with customers competing at the Great North Swim at Lake Windermere from June 12th to 14th.
Oh, let's just hope it all goes well. He looks like a burns victim. But let's hope it all goes well, eh? Let's hope we see them in a pool near you.
I just saw that story and I'm like, yep, I need one. I don't know why. I just have this...
You do, Will.
To it for some reason.
Could you please wear one to the show next week?
Okay, so I do have a relatively sensible story. So Friends, as you all know, is the next target of Warner Brothers. Over the past few weeks, Warner Brothers has been going after pirates using various torrent websites to illegally download Friends.
Oh.
The movie studio has been sending...
That's the only way I could get Friends is if I downloaded them.
Right. The movie studio has been sending settlement demands to those in question, which requests they pay $20 for illegally downloading the show. One particular note obtained by a torrent freak was sent after an internet subscriber who downloaded an episode from season 2. Your ISP account has been downloaded, upload or offer and upload copyrighted content in a manner that infringes the rights of our... Your ISP account has been used to download, upload or offer for upload. Wow,
yeah,
man.
I get that.
Guys get the big stories tonight.
Yeah, but I get that though, Will. I understand that.
for
It's legal.
for copyrighted content in a manner that infringes the rights of our client, Warner Brothers Entertainment. Although Warner Brothers understands and appreciates that you are a fan of its content, the unauthorized uploading and downloading of its copyrighted content is a serious matter.
I'm sure they
The notice then details the penalties. As part of the settlement, you agree to cease and desist from the unauthorized copy and or distribution of Warner Brothers content, including over the internet from your computer. The damage to Warner Brothers from your conduit substantially exceeds $20, but in the interest of having you stop your infringement of Warner Brothers is prepared to make you this settlement offer.
Of $20?
Yep.
Wow.
So what they're saying is, as part of the settlement, you agree. Okay, so if you don't pay the $20, you don't agree to the settlement, so you don't have to stop downloading it. Because a settlement requires approval from both parties.
Yes.
So they're offering you a settlement to pay $20 and never download anything, or not pay $20 and download as much as you want.
Why are they going after Friends? Oh, that's finished.
Time Freak said it was the first time it's seen pirates being targeted for downloading content that's more than 20 years old.
Yeah.
So Friends makes it rather unusual target, but it suggests that Warner Brothers is still generating decent revenue from the series.
I see ebooks is getting a bit of press as well, pirating ebooks. I read a story that there are people starting to get crazy about that too.
Now, why would I pirate 50 Shades of Grey? Seriously. I mean, who would pirate 50 Shades of Grey?
not when you live in the life, Will.
I know, right?
Who paid to watch it in the first place?
Not when you're Ipswich version of Mr. Grey.
Dark grey.
All right.
Shaken, not stirred.
All right, Jace, what have you got?
Well, internet provider iiNet has had a major privacy breach after more than 30,000 customer passwords were hacked. Dum dum dum. A Twitter user with the handle Cyberwar News posted a screenshot of the social network on Monday showing an anonymous hacker was selling or trading the database of WestNet, a Western Australian-based internet service provider that was acquired by iiNet in 2008. There's a ton of data inside the database to where I haven't been even bothered to dump this whole thing, but there's a lot of valuable data inside like clear text passwords, etc. For those interested, you can contact me on Jabber below, he said. Then he offered the following addresses to contact him. Cyberwar News picked up the screenshot in a tweet saying, it seems WestNet, one of Aussie's biggest ISPs, has been owned. Cyberwar News Twitter mission statement claims he is covering global cybersecurity and internet speech issues from all sides of the conflict with breaking news, independent analysis, and a little humour. iiNet Chief Information Officer Matthew Toohey said he was aware of the incident, that they may have resulted in unauthorised access to old customer information stored on a legacy WestNet system. The incident has been reported to relevant law enforcement agencies and is currently under investigation. He said customer username, address, telephone, and in some cases password information may have been accessed. However, no payment details were stored on the server. The system is now offline and no further at risk. The 30,827 impacted customers have been contacted and told to change their password.
Well, you know, my debit card was scammed this week, just the other day. Yeah, I got a call from the NAB and they said, "Oh, you been making a $500 purchase at wherever?" I went, "No." And he goes, "Well, it's just gone through your account. You've been scammed. You've been."
Yeah, just because my iPad Mini cost $500, it's just a coincidence.
Oh, that's now we're getting a bigger picture. Now we got the picture.
Actually, it was $498 because I got it from JB Hi-Fi. I got it $2 cheaper than anywhere else.
That's all right. Yeah,
Officeworks got it for $499. Apple's got it for $500. But JB's got it for $498.
But little impatient you could have had it for $50 cheaper.
Yep.
Now, so anyway, the bank rang me, said blah, blah, blah. And, so they cancelled my card and it's going to send me a new one. So how's that? $500. A little $12.63 went through, probably just testing the waters. And then the $500 went through. And it was a debit card. And overdrew the debit card. So more fool than the NAB. Jeez. So why would they overdraw a debit card? But anyway.
I hope you don't have automatic payments coming out because that's the most pain in the ass thing to fix up when your credit card gets done.
Yeah, well, it was attached to my Apple ID, so now I can't download any apps till I get another credit card back. my debit card. But anyway, that's off the thing. But talking about apples and all that, let's get into the WWDC because that has happened 3 a.m. the other morning. Now, what's been involved? Probably look, if you're an Apple follower, you probably go, yay. The new Siri has had a major makeover for iOS 9, has a jazzy, colourful voice bar. Whoopie-doo. So what that means is just got like a little colour thing that goes across. Now, you can watch the WWDC. Now, I'm not sure where I picked up the link from, but I'm pretty sure it'll be either straight off your Apple TV or from the Apple Store somewhere. You'll be able to link to it. She's also going to, Siri, she's also going to be more proactive. So if you're listening to a track, a specific music track every afternoon, Siri will automatically give you the option to play the music when you connect. So she'll start to learn what your patterns are. When you put your headphones in, she'll play it. She'll put invitations on the calendar if they arrive over email, then provide reminders of when to leave, along with driving directions. Another feature that is both impressive and a little bit creepy, so this writer has divulged, is if you get calls from unknown numbers, Siri can automatically look through emails to suggest who's been calling. Now, iPad, Jace, new features for the iPad with iOS 9, side-by-side app multitasking and new picture-in-picture feature. Now,
that's neat. That's never been done before on a mobile device.
No, now the picture-in-picture feature is quite good. This is one of the things, as I was saying before, they've got all these common processes, but they've wrapped them up and saying, this incredible picture-in-picture. And never before has it been so nice and all this sort of stuff. This is how they carry on.
Apple has taken the paradigm of the operating system and innovated leaps and bounds ahead of the competition, as usual.
Yes. And he started off, so picture-in-picture. So anyway, the good thing about this is you can be on an email or something and you can still be watching the video in the corner. That's good. I love it. Now, this makes me want to get an iPad. Oh, I need an iPad.
They should do that on the Android platform.
Yeah, they probably already have they?
Yep. You can watch YouTube videos in the top right corner while you're doing other stuff.
Now, the slide over, 2 apps on the screen. A user can alter the screen size for each with split view. They can share 50-50 or 70-30. It's only available...
50-50 or 70-30. Gee, plenty of choices there. Lucky you can't, just pick your own size or anything. Who'd want that?
They stole that from Windows 10. Windows 10's going to have that snap feature.
What, you mean, you can do 70-30 like that, or you can just sort of grab this tag here and you can make that as big as you want and completely change it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they should do on Android.
Yeah, I know, it'd be great. If only you could do something like that, or have them, or even if you want to swap the windows around, put the top window on the bottom and put them the other way.
Will, have you just come back from the future? You've got a future phone. That's a future phone.
Yes, I live in the future. I don't use an Apple product.
The sarcasm meter is going off the scale.
Now, Swift, which received the biggest applause, Swift is a programming language that's going to be open source. So I'm not a programmer, so obviously
that was a big deal. You remember way back when Steve Jobs announced that FaceTime was going to be open source so that you could run it on multiple platforms?
Right. Good. And did it ever
That's a
become
big part
open
of
source?
his keynote.
No. They don't like open source. I didn't.
He said it was going to be. That he announced it in his keynote.
Yeah. Okay.
Never happened.
Now, also along with other than iOS, we've got a new OS X. Now, this one is
El Capitan.
El Capitan. It's obviously another rock. It's another rock somewhere by the look of it. Now, El Capitan...
Sounds stupid, that one.
Oh, doesn't it? Continues the California naming conventions of Yosemite and Mavericks. Apple is adamant it brings greater performance and better experience for Mac users. It supports the firm's Metal platform, which should help its laptops and desktop computers handle more graphic-intensive games. Didn't know Macs had games.
The paradigm of the operating system on a laptop and desktop device, and leaps and bounds ahead of the competition. We innovated.
You'll feel like you're flying off El Capitan.
On the metal.
And hitting straight
on the heavy metal.
But the metal will provide a gracious experience. The ability to see which tabbed window in Safari web browser is playing sound, helping users locate and identify
Which Chrome has been doing for a couple of years.
Audio. That's right, they have too. I like that feature in Chrome. You get this noise coming from somewhere. You go, where's that coming from? And you look up at the thing, and you
stupid ads. That's where it comes from.
And now a great advent into the future. So I wonder, this might have been brought back from the future, but enlarging the mouse cursor if it's shaken after waking up a computer to make it clear and easy to locate.
Yeah, I'm going to pick my computer up off the screen and shake it. You can just grab your desktop off the table and give it a bit of a shake, and the mouse cursor comes up.
Will, it's not an Etch-a-Sketch.
Now, I think Windows 10 had a little arrow locator for some time, or Windows has an arrow locator for some time if you wish to turn it on.
Yeah, you press Control.
Yeah, and it had little beams come out like that to show you where it was.
Yeah,
wasn't the trail that would go on, and the trail of mouse.
Yeah, you had the mouse tail.
Yeah, or the tail. Yeah, but I think you could. You push the Control, and it would just emanate.
Find my mouse.
A beam or something. Yeah.
It used to have the concentric circles.
That's the ones. The other ones. The beam. Will, the beam. That sounds better.
Beam.
Okay.
Any beam he likes is Jim.
Beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life down here.
All right. What else have you got, Will? You got anything else?
Okay. So, just another quick statistical sort of doohickey. Australians are ditching landlines for mobile phones. Now, this made huge news, apparently, and the AMCO has only just discovered this, but a growing number of Australians are disconnecting their fixed-line telephones and opting to rely on their mobile phones.
Really?
Yeah, apparently, just in case you didn't know. The report titled Australians Gets Mobile. Really?
I remember years ago when I got naked DSL and I had somebody from Optus come knocking on my door and they're like, "Hi, would you like to sign up to our Optus? We got great deals." And I got, "No, I know you can't do a better deal than my iiNet naked DSL." And he's sort of looked at me when I said the word naked as if I'm trying to come onto it. So, don't worry, it's too technical for you to understand. Just understand, I know all the ISPs and all of their plans off by heart, and you can't beat it. And I don't want to have a landline anyway, so bye-bye.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you get the Optus and that ring you up. They ring me up, and I say, "You won't beat it. I'm on cable. Do you understand?" And they go, "Oh yeah, we'll beat it. We'll beat it. We'll get someone to ring you back."
No, we can't beat that.
Yeah, so they ring you back, and you go, "I'm on Telstra cable. Blah blah blah. Oh, we can't beat that."
Yeah.
Waste of time.
I do the same with Optus cable. Because I'm on Optus cable, you get, everyone when you're like, "I'm on Optus cable. You can't beat it." Oh, you can have Telstra DSL.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, good story.
My cousin lives on a farm out in the bush, and she keeps getting people from Telstra ringing up, and they're like, "We'll beat whatever speeds you're currently getting at a better price." She's like, "All right, go for it. Here's my address." They're like, "I can't find that. Hang on, we'll get back to you." And they ring back, and they go, "There's no ADSL connection where you are." She's like, "I know, but you promise, and you keep ringing and saying you'll beat it. So I'll let you try and investigate, but you're never going to beat it. We can only get satellite, and that's it."
Yeah, like if it wasn't because like Telstra made you have a landline to have internet, I wouldn't have a landline. Because I don't know if people know, but and I suppose most people do, but if you don't have a landline and pay $30 a month for it, well then your internet connection costs $30 more.
Yeah, it works out the same.
So go figure that one.
Well, so ours, because I'm on cable, you can have the phone. It's free. The phone line's free with part of the plan because you don't pay for the phone. It runs through the cable. You don't have a phone line.
Yeah,
mine was actually cheaper and easier to get through TPG with a home phone added onto it than without, because I was going to pay. I rang up and I was going to pay $69.95 a month for, I think it was 500 gigs or something.
Yeah.
And when I was signing up, they're like, "Why don't you go with our $49.95 a month, and you get with a home phone. If you don't use the home phone, you don't get charged anything. It doesn't cost anything, and it's $49.95, and you get unlimited." So I was like, "Oh, I'll save $10 and get unlimited compared to spending an extra $10 and have a limited." So
yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway,
they were the other way around.
Yes, as I was saying, the report titled "Australians Get Mobile." This is a hell of a title. Australians get mobile using mobile devices for voice messaging and internet access. Showed that as of December 2014, nearly 1/3 of adult Australians were mobile-only phone users. That means that 5.2 million people rely on mobile phones for voice communication and don't have fixed line. So apparently 21% of Australians are mobile-only.
And I think
whether tablet or mobile. So 21% of Australians are mobile only for internet users who rely on their mobile. So whether it's phone, tablet, or mobile broadband.
And I wouldn't. Do you reckon I'd be too far wrong if I was to say that the demographic here, I reckon, would be that have ditched the landline would be older Australians and younger Australians, and the middle-aged, us, I reckon. Well, I don't know about YouTube. I've got a landline because I have to have one because of the stupid I'm on Telstra. But older Australians, like say my mum, she doesn't have a landline. She's got a mobile phone. She hotspots it to the laptop. Under my guidance, of course. But yeah, she hotspots it to the laptop, and she doesn't need a home phone. And then the younger dudes live with their parents or live with someone else. They don't have a landline because they don't have to pay for it. They've got their own connection. So, so do you have a landline, Will?
Well, as I said, only through the Optus. It's not actually a landline. It's running over the cable.
Right.
Don't ever actually use it, but it is technically there. Which, I mean, if the cable router crashes or we have a blackout or anything like that, no, we don't have a landline because it's all running over cable.
Right.
So,
right.
And this is something, and this is part of the thing with the NBN that people are going to have to address. If you have the NBN, your phone will come in over the NBN rather than a fixed landline.
Yeah.
And you need to be aware that if you're in a situation where you need a phone in an emergency, say you've got a kid with chronic asthma or you've got an elderly person with a Medi-Alert bracelet or something like that, you're going to need to install a UPS onto your router so that in the event of a blackout, you're still going to have phone.
Yeah, but that the NBN, they've got some battery backup or something.
Yeah, but they're only going to last 2 years, and they're responsible for the initial installation,
right.
And then the homeowner's responsible for every after that.
Yeah. And that's probably going to be $100.
The weird thing, the ones I thought every unit had to have it, but the ones that are putting in at work don't. They don't have a battery backup on the ones that work. So I don't know how this is. Maybe they've ditched that now.
Yeah, right.
Like everything else.
I wonder how often the NBN goes down though.
Well, it's every time you lose power.
Oh yeah, right.
Because you need power to run the router. It's only a 12-volt router, so you can run it off a 12-volt battery, but you need to have that in place to do that. So
I suppose
they were talking that every connection had to have it in, and then I think they've decided that was going to cost a ridiculous amount of money, so they don't do that anymore.
But I suppose most of the time people would have a mobile device anyway.
Well, yeah, but those Medi bracelets and stuff, for example, they're linked to a landline. So if you fall down and you press your panic button, it triggers the landline.
Right. Well, interesting. All right, now moving on from that interesting story. Now, Apple reveals their new music app to rival Spotify. Will it rival Spotify? Probably.
Well, I hope this is a good story because Eric's getting a bit disappointed in your Apple stories at the moment, he said.
Oh, is he?
He's in the lounge.
Why is he getting disappointed?
He said, you murdered the WWDC announcement. I'm glad I'm not there.
I murdered the announcement.
Yeah, well, it was over 2 hours long. Apple has announced a new app that combines a streaming song and music video library, an internet radio station, and a way for artists to share unreleased tracks and other material. Now, Spotify, the main difference at the moment between the Apple and the Spotify is that Spotify has a free product, ad-supported free product, where Apple doesn't. Apple's app also works with the voice-controlled Siri, allowing subscribers to ask to play a song from a movie soundtrack or year without needing to know the track's name. So look, there's probably going to be advantages in having it all bundled up into the one, like Siri, Apple, and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. Time will tell. The company...
yes, they have a free version on the Android, but it might as well not be. It's pretty much useless. You can't do anything. I was trying to listen to, coming back from the coast, and we had a car full of people, and I'm like, okay, what do you want to listen to? And they said, I want to listen to this soundtrack, whatever it was from a particular movie. I went, no worries, typed it in, put it up, played the first song, yep, no worries. Play the second song, okay, I kind of get it. By the third song, we're listening to, the theme song to Home and Away or something. It just completely had nothing at all to do with what we started off listening to. Now,
apparently Apple is still in negotiations with the Beatles. There's no Beatles on their music thing. But as they pointed out in the WWDC with a nice little screenshot, that they do have the rights to say Taylor Swift. So maybe that's going to be the selling point. Is it? Taylor Swift fans? You can't get her on Spotify these days, can ya? No way. All right. Okay, so, Jace, what else have you been up to?
Well, Elon Musk is at it again. His space company has asked the US government for permission to begin testing on an ambitious project to beam internet service from space. A significant step forward for an initiative that could create another major competitor to telecom companies. The plan calls for launching of a constellation of 4,000 small and cheap satellites that will beam high-speed internet signals to all parts of the globe, including its most remote regions. Musk has said the effort would be like rebuilding the internet in space. If successful, the attempt could transform the LA-based SpaceX from a pure rocket company into a massive high-speed internet provider that would take on major companies in the developed world, but also make first-time customers out of the billions of people who are currently not online. The idea of saturating Earth with internet signals from space has long been the dream of prominent business tycoons, including Bill Gates, in the 1990s, but many of these ventures have run into obstacles that Musk is willing to avoid. Musk has his own rocket, and he said he has a swarm of satellites that will be more efficient and inexpensive than relying on a handful of big devices that are difficult to replace. Internet service providers have for years relied on fewer old satellites that are cast much farther into space and can only serve specific regions or countries. SpaceX's web of satellites could wrap around the Earth in low orbit, heading off internet signals to each other to make connections more reliable and reach more areas.
Nice work. Nice. There's lots of
Even
things.
better than Google's balloons.
Yeah, balloons. They're
I mean,
all over the
loons.
place. You can watch those balloons on that flight radar. They get tracked on there.
Cool.
Wee. Now, look, another Apple-related story. Wozniak. Old Steve Woz. Now, he's an Australian resident, as we know. His son apparently married an Australian chickie babe. So that's why he's moved over here for most of his year. Now, during the World Business Forum in Sydney, so he was at the World Business Forum, and look, I've got a nice little picture here for those on the video. There he is. Now, he said had gone the way of the US in seeking to store details of citizen smartphone and internet users and disagreed with it. So now we know where he stands. He said he was a founder of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, civil rights organisation for digital equipment in the US, and he wanted humans to be so much more important than the technology. He went on to say, when I was brought up, our constitution gave us a place called the home, and your home could not be violated without court orders or warrants. My communication with my friends should be part of the private area that I own. And he goes on to say he'd like to say the Australian government, there's lots of examples where data retention hasn't been fruitful, and blah blah blah. So good old Woz. He's at his piece. He lectures at some Sydney University, I think. So he's doing all right. And have you got any more, Will?
Just a couple of quick, interesting stories. Years ago, the Conficker virus that was been around. Yeah, it's been around for 7 years now, and it still remains as one of the most encountered pieces of malware online.
And what did it do to us?
Exploits a flaw in Windows discovered back in 2008.
Conficked everything up.
Yeah, I can't remember what worm spread rapidly by networking shares and USB sticks, and that's heightened and affected about 11 million devices. It caused chaos, cost one UK authority $1.4 million to recover. French fighter planes were grounded because of the worm, and estimate put the global economic cost about $9 billion. It doesn't actually say what, I can't remember what it was actually doing, but it's just interesting. I was just talking about viruses and stuff before. It's interesting that this is still just kicking around though. Like, it's quite amazing.
Yeah.
How after that long, it's still.
I suppose there are all these things probably still whippering around, aren't they? It's just that the virus protectors are stopping them all. Because I think I think there's pretty, because there's all, how the rumour is there's all these little Windows 98 boxes in cupboards and stuff like this, still just churning stuff out. And they're all there. It's just that the antiviruses and the Windows updates, they're all, putting pay to them all.
But everyone loves a bit of a good old deathmatch. The Colosseum, a killing machine that carried wild animals from the depths of the Colosseum to their certain deaths, has been recreated 1,500 years after its last creature died before the rapturous Roman crowd. The massive timber structure was completed shortly before its unveiling on Friday. It was used to hoist terrified lions, leopards and bears from cages beneath the main stadium floor to the fight to their death. consists of a wooden cage and sophisticated rope and pulley system. Researchers were able to identify how the system worked based on clues in the tunnel network beneath the world's most infamous fighting arena. They found bronze fittings, holes carved for timber posts and ropes, and marks that can still be seen in the stone. In a documentary about the project, a full-grown male wolf was carried from the cage and released into the middle of the amphitheatre. The documentary director Gary Glassman said it was the first time in 1,500 years a wild animal had been raised into the Colosseum.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, it's amazing that there's something, like they're slowly putting more and more of this thing back together. Like, it's...
Yeah, right.
Well,
so you reckon what's their aim? Is it to get it all...
Just to sort of understand how it all worked, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, nice. Good stuff.
So...
Now, here's a little device that we can all go and have a look at. Windows 10 squeezed inside a plug. Now, if you haven't seen it, I've got a little photo here. It's just like the
Internet of Things.
Yeah, it's like a, what do you call them? An adapter. AC adapter. Now, the Quanta's compute plug is designed to be pushed directly into a power socket, has an HDMI port for TV connections, and 2 USB sockets. The new compute plug from Quanta is a mini PC and power adapter in one that can be plugged into any outlet and connected to a TV to turn it into a smart computer. And they can be controlled using Cortana via Bluetooth, remote, or headset. Says that's come from the Windows blog. Now, just going on to the next little product that we've got here. It's one of these little fellas, and those on the video are also going to be excited because I've got a picture of it. There we go. Now, the Kangaroo fits a Windows 10 powered PC box into itself that resembles a portable hard drive fitted with fingerprint reader on the top. It also features a battery said to be capable of lasting 6 hours between charges. Microsoft describes it as an ultra portable computer that can turn TV into a full Windows 10 PC. So, I don't know.
Now
Windows
your TV
10
can crash just as well as your computer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Windows 10, it's everywhere. It's going to be great. Can't wait. Can't wait. Okay, Jace, did you have any more this week?
Yeah, a few, but I just come across one that one of my friends, Adam Turner, has just written an interesting story. A virtual personal assistant who screens calls might keep the spruikers and scammers at bay. If you still have a home landline, which is what we were just talking about, chances are you refuse to answer the phone at dinner time, letting calls go to answering machine so you can hear who it is before you pick it up. Telemarketers and other nuisance callers. Hello, I am from the Microsoft. Your computer having virus.
Big bad virus. Let me
Telemarketers and other nuisance callers will usually hang up rather than leave a message, but they still disturb your evening. Telstra's Call Guardian 301 aims to cut them off before the phone even rings, so you can eat your dinner in peace. The Call Guardian 301 is a $72 dual handset cordless phone package with a built-in answering machine. Rather than letting the phone ring several times before going to the answering machine, you can set the Call Guardian to silently answer incoming calls and ask for the caller's name. Once they leave their name, the handset will ring. Pick it up and the phone plays back the caller's name so you can decide whether to block the call, accept it, or send them to the answering machine. If the caller hangs up before leaving their name, as telemarketers tend to do, then the Call Guardian ignores them completely and you never even know that somebody rang. You can record your own interrogation message to assure your friends that they've called the right number. Thankfully, they don't need to keep negotiating with Call Guardian in order to reach you. If they've enabled caller ID, you can create a white list of numbers which can bypass the Call Guardian so the phone rings as soon as they call. If your friends like to block their outgoing number, they should put you on speed dial with 1832 in front of your number so their number is visible when they call you.
I thought that was to block it, 1832.
Well, if it's blocked, it'll unblock it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a flip-flop.
okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, so how much does that cost?
$72 for a dual handset.
Mm.
That's not bad.
I just
If
put
it's
up with it.
reasonable
It's
quality.
it's an interesting way if you get a lot of call. I mean, nobody calls me on either of my phones, so I don't have to worry. But
I'm going to put that on the work phone, I think. Man.
I enjoy hurling the
Perfect for
abuse.
there you go.
They ring up, I enjoy them. They go, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I won't tell you what they say. They rang me back one day because he got so incensed with what I said to him. He rang me back to have a go at me. And I reckon he must have rang back on his personal phone or something.
Yeah, I had that a few weeks ago. I had some Indian freak call me up, and I yelled, abused the shit out of them and hung up, and they called back and they said, that's not very nice, so I yelled at them again and hung up.
Well, yeah. Well, they I don't think they like. Well, I give it to him, mate. I question his sexuality and everything. I don't think he. I don't think he liked.
Are you
that.
of the gay?
See, I went the other way. I was offering sexuality like it was.
Get it?
I am of the gay.
Yeah. All right. What's that one, Will?
This, my friends, is the world's first 10 terabyte hard drive.
Wow.
HGST announced delivery of the world's first 10 terabyte hard drive.
But can you read them?
J.J. Abrams, it's got a lot of lens flare on it.
Yeah, I know, right? And yet, it was only 20 years ago that the 1 gigabyte drive was released. So basically, area density increases are coming slowly as the drive industry gears up. The new device uses shingled magnetic recordings, or SMR.
I thought they got rid of the shingles these days.
Right.
No, they're bringing them back with
more
a
sun
vengeance,
or something.
Vitamin C, isn't it? But apparently it's writing takes a lot of energy and it lays down a broad track while reads work well with narrow tracks. So it basically borrows some of the technology from flash drives and the way it writes, and sort of overlaps the data. Like if you've ever seen an old, well, I guess if you're shingling a roof where you slide a little bit under the previous one.
Yep. Yeah. Right.
So that way you can read and write because they're kind of tapered back, so it's writing a little bit till it's not reading and stuff like that.
No, but 10
so
10
it's
terabytes is all right.
Obviously they haven't released the price yet, but judging by what is available, it's not going to be cheap. But so it's just been released at the moment. It's only based for it's designed for servers at this point, but
Who makes it? Do you know?
yeah, it's made by HGST.
Well, my computer wouldn't even read a 3 terabyte drive.
Western Digital.
So I don't know how it's going to go with 10. Stupid
Well,
thing.
that was only your USB though, a USB caddy, wasn't it?
I ended up putting it into another machine, and it did recognise it, but it wouldn't view it. So I'm suggesting this wasn't my drive; it was someone else wanted me to copy some data
We're
off.
trying to read it in a 32-bit Windows that can't read bigger than 2 gigs.
I even put it into the Apple to see if the Apple would read it, because they don't have that limitation. But I think the drive was stuffed, and that was the main problem. But anyway, in any case, all right. I think we're out of time. Are we out of time? Lucky I wasn't recording on the C drive. So,
You people need to watch a live stream before the show because you'll learn some very interesting facts about Glenn.
look, I'll tell you. I
listen to the uncut like last episode.
I said to Will before the show, I got something this week that would hopefully stop him crying, and I'll show you what it is. And
I showed him an iPad mini, which made him cry anyway.
Yes. Now,
Other camera.
No, I've got 2 cameras here tonight. It's bloody. Well, what it is, I don't even know where are you? I don't even.
There we
can't
go.
even see
That's
it.
it.
It's another like a mixer.
Oh yeah,
Flash
Fire Studio.
Studio
Yeah, they're really
Mobile.
good.
Yeah, so it's another little mixer, Will. So when I format, I'm going to try and put that in. I went down to MSY today because this little Fire Studio is FireWire compatible and based. And I thought, geez, I don't have FireWire in the PC. So I went down to the MSY. Really? And I said, have you guys got a FireWire card for me? And he goes, yes, I have. I said, how much would that be? And he said, $3. I went, sold. $3.
You know they're common when they're just laying on top of your desk, not doing anything.
$3.
Yeah,
Oh, we can give you a free one. There you go.
yeah. I got just like
The amount of petrol it would cost to drive to Will's house, you could have used the $3 anyway.
I bought like a box of 10 of them a while ago. I found they lasted about 6 months and they started giving errors. So you just change them out every 6 months. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So there you go. So hopefully I'll be able to get
I've
that
never
working.
had a FireWire or anything, or SCSI.
Yeah, I had a FireWire. I had a FireWire video camera, which is really good. You control the
I had
camera
a
from your keyboard.
Sony DV cam, which was FireWire.
Yeah, the FireWire is good. They should be bringing it back. Not getting rid
FireWire
of it.
hard drives. Well,
USB-C
Thunderbird.
is the future.
Who is?
Poor little puppy dog. How you doing?
Oh.
I can see him behind you there.
What?
Your dog.
Oh, behind me?
Yes.
Oh, she's on the floor now. All right, let's get out of here. Otherwise, my drive D's going to fill up. Right. So, keep an eye out for the Aussie Mac Zone. That's on iTunes. You probably get more of a love of WWDC. Sorry, Eric, we didn't do you justice there for that.
That'll teach it not be he.
But he might. You can tell us all off next week. And what else is there? The paper, AussieTechHeads.com.au/paper. And there's heaps of other stuff. AussieTechRadio.com. So go over there, check that out. 24/7 Shoutcast Radio.
You can listen to that.
Top podcasts.
That's it. The 2 Australia's top tech podcasts at the moment of City and Loft and Old Fart Geek.
Oh, they're on fire, aren't they? And the 2 Australia's top 2 podcasts by Australia's top 2 podcasters.
I'm number 1. He's number 2.
I'm number 2.
You're number 2s.
All right. So until
I don't do a number 3.
number 3. I'd hate to see that. I hope that flushes.
Speaking of number 3s, just side note: if you haven't watched Home yet, make sure you watch it. It's a fantastic movie, great kids movie, good for adults as well. A lot of fun. Go and check it out.
All right, good stuff. All right, so don't forget all of that sort of stuff, and you know where to reach us. Anyone at AussieTechHeads.com.au or on the Facebook, and that's it. Have a good week. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.